See, I remember that one time I made that video about saving money on manga. This ain't it. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Book Vibes. If you're new here, welcome to Book Vibes. This is a place where you read what you like, because if it vibes with you, that's what you do. Okay, so I know you're judging me, and that's okay. I don't mind. It's cool. I know you saw the title and you're like, Kianika, what happened? Because you just made a video about, you know, saving money and you're on a challenge not to buy manga and being, you know, conscious about what you're buying and selective. I was selective, very selective about what I bought. Now, I got a little bit of a bonus because my job was like, y'all, good job during the school year last year, you know, with the whole situationship. Pat on the back, here's some money, enjoy yourself. And that's what I did. I enjoyed myself. So I did pick up a lot of series that I've been wanting to pick up for a while. I collected from a mangaka. I can't even talk. I collected from a mangaka that I have fallen absolutely in love with. Junji's still top. Junji's still my guy, but there's another guy on my list, and I had to get as much as I could from him. I completed some series, and so let's just get into it. So let me address something before I get started. You see all these empty places? They're going to get filled up as you go. I had already arranged my shelf before this video. Let me just note, this is the second time I filmed this. But anyways, I wanted to take a moment. Oh, look at this, fail. I wanted to take a moment. Let me hold this up. To appreciate Mr. Book Vibes for building my risers. Y'all, my collection has built. Let's move on. The first volume I'm going to show you today is Rent a Girlfriend, Volume 7. I have really been enjoying this series a lot. It's been getting bad and good reviews. Like I said, if you enjoy it, that's what you do. If you don't, then that's what you do too. So I picked up Volume 7. Next up, I have a series that I have absolutely been in love with. You guys know from the beginning, I was never really interested in romance series, but this is a seinen, and seinens do it a little bit different. It's not as fluffy as other ones, and that is Sweat and Soap Volume 7. Y'all, this is like wholesome as all get out. I know if you read the synopsis, you're like, there's nothing wholesome about a guy obsessed with smells. It has become something beautiful. Next up, I picked up Volume 10 of Jujutsu Kaisen, as well as Volume 11 from Jujutsu Kaisen. And I have not started reading Jujutsu Kaisen yet because I wanted to get a bunch of them so I can kind of binge out on them. And I think I'm really at that point that I'm going to start reading this pretty soon. So this month, I also picked up an older series, one that I've been seeing everywhere, and I've been getting into older series lately, like series that kind of started in the 80s and the 90s. I enjoy the art. I love the stories. They're a lot different than the stuff they have today, and that is JoJo's. I got JoJo's Part 1, books 1 through 3, and I haven't started reading it yet, but this is number 2 because, you know, I hate showing stuff out of order, and I just be like, you dimwit. But anyway, so I've only looked inside and looked at the art, and oh my gosh, it is super cool. It's like that old school stuff, the kind of stuff. Oh, I opened up a good way. This look good. Look at this. I love the darks. Like, I love the way that looks. So I picked that up. So my husband also jumped on. My husband, he's so awesome. Anyway, he went and picked up JoJo's Part 2, books 1 through 4. And you know what? It was a surprise because at first he only picked up volumes 1 and 2, and then he was sitting in my spot and was like, hey, look at this. And I looked up, and my guy had all 4 volumes. So I have Part 1 and Part 2, and I cannot wait to get into that. And someone said that the art changed throughout the series. I mean, it looks pretty much the same to me. I guess I'll notice it when I start reading it. Okay, so I know that I just made fun of, like, I didn't make fun of it, but I just said I didn't like fluffy manga. But I picked up a series that's pretty fluffy. It is After the Rain, volume... Oh, I can't even pick that up. After the Rain, volumes 1 through 5. Oh my goodness. What a cutie patati little series. So it is a series about a 17-year-old girl who was a runner, and she injured herself, so she decided to start working. And she started working at a restaurant, and her boss is this 45-year-old single father. Well, he's divorced, and this guy is the guy she decided to have a crush on. So it kind of goes through the little, the issues that he's dealing with a 17-year-old girl liking him. Like, if you're 45 and some 17-year-old kid says, I have a crush on you, like, how are you gonna feel? Y'all, I work at a high school, and not that I'm, the finest thing on the planet, but if a 17-year-old child comes to me and say, Miss K, I got a crush on you, I'm gonna run away. I'm gonna run away. But you know what? He dealt with it. He had some, thoughts. And so it's a nice little age gap. It's innocent. Nothing happens, so you don't have to worry about that. I suggest you pick it up. So this month I also picked up Beastars Volume 13. Okay. If you've read this far, you know how weird but cool story is. Very consistent. It's odd. Okay, it's odd. That's the best way I can describe it, because I'm pretty sure that Paru Itagaki, that's her name, was on something. She was on something when she thought this storyline up and the characters and how she built the character. She was on something. That's all I have to say. Once you read it and you get to that point, you'll understand. This guy on the front of this cover, that's where the weirdness ensues. I can't even talk. So this next series could be one that I could put in the category called Instagram made me do it, because I never heard of this series. I've never seen anybody else talking about it. Just one guy, and you'll know who the guy is once you see this series. But it is called, and hold your horses, it is called Yoshino Zuikara. Let's start over. Yoshino Zuikara, the frog in the well does not know the ocean. By Satsuki Yoshino. Anyway, I bought volumes 1 through 3. That is the complete series, so this is a short one. But it is about a mangaka, this guy right here, who's lost his serialization, so he didn't have his series anymore. Excuse me. And his editor said that he should write a slice of life. Now, this guy is a fantasy writer, so he's like, no. Okay, so, what about? And he goes, about your hometown, your small hometown that you grew up on. So it's posing as a challenge. Now, the thing about this series, because I've only read volume 1, but it starts out super slow. So I suggest, if you do decide to pick this up, push through it, because the first part,
oh my gosh, the drudgery.
It's horrible. But once it gets to the second part, things start to pick up. So that is Yoshino Zuikara, the frog in the well does not know the ocean. So this entire section that's coming up right now is dedicated to my second favorite mangaka, my number one favorite mystery sci-fi mangaka. We'll do it like that, because like you guys know, Junji Ito is my number one. But this guy, what a great guy. I picked up a bunch of series, or a few series, from Naoki Urasawa. The first book I picked up is Sneeze. This is actually a compilation of different stories, a bunch of short stories, and wow, they are so funny. They're so fun. It is classic art from him, beautiful art. He's even appeared, wait, let me show you. That's him right there. I love how he draws himself. I think that's one of the coolest things about Naoki Urasawa. But let me show you guys a color page, because when I tell you, it's beautiful. Just beautiful. Look at that. That is... Now this story is a good one. This is a really good story. Enjoyed it very much. I also picked up Mujirushi by Naoki Urasawa. It is a story, one-shot story about a man who messed up. His family fell apart, lost his money financially, and some mysterious guy comes, and then it's a big adventure in Paris, and that's where I'm going to leave it, because it's a mystery. and you can't mess up mysteries. No spoilers and mysteries, but let me show you the guy. This is the mysterious guy. Whoa, look at his teeth. Just knock you over. Sorry, you're great. Next up is a series that was everywhere when I first saw it, and now I can't even find one of the volumes. It is very difficult to find the volumes. I picked up volumes 1, 2, 4 is on the way, 5, 6, 7, and 8 of Pluto. And volume 3, if y'all see a volume 3 somewhere randomly, let your girl know, because on Amazon it's $1.99 and I can't find it cheaper than $1.50 on eBay. Moving on. So I've only read one volume, and I try not to listen to what people are saying because I want to read this, blindly, basically. And from what I gather, it's about a robot who is investigating the deaths of robots and humans, because robots are not supposed to be killing robots. No, robots are not supposed to be killing humans, but they think that there's a robot killing the human. I don't know. I know it's about robots, and I know that it is a tribute to Osamu. I can't even talk today. It is a tribute to Osamu Tezuka and the Astro Boy series. So, great series. If you can find all the volumes, please pick it up. Don't miss out like me. If they're sitting in your local bookstore, don't leave them there. Don't leave them there. Okay? So the next series that I picked up is one that you might have already seen if you watched my Right Stuff anime birthday sale pickup. Woo! But I want to show you the covers anyway. It is 20th Century Boys, the perfect editions. Now, this first edition I picked up from Second and Charles, so I didn't get this from the Right Stuff anime sale. But here's book 1. Cannot find book 2. We guys all know that book 2 is like missing, so I ended up ordering volume 4, the single volume 4, and I'm looking for the single volume of 3 because I honestly just want to read the series. But I picked up 2 through 11 at the Right Stuff sale. So here's 2. If you watched that video, you know that I did not pick up 21st Century Boys because I didn't know it was a part of it. So I ended up getting it off of Amazon. So here is 21st Century Boys, and it happens to be the last volumes of 20th Century Boys. So speaking of older series, I ended up picking up some manga from the Godfather, the God or the father of modern manga, Osamu Tezuka. This is MW, y'all. I might have to do a review on this. This is crazy. This is about a young man who had some issues with a priest. I'm not gonna go deep into it because, again, this is one of those mystery type horror mangas that if you say the wrong thing, people are gonna get a spoiler. So he's just crazy, and he's been just killing people. I'll just say it like that. He's crazy. He had involvement with a priest, and he's killing people. It's awesome. I also picked up the Book of Human Insects. I don't know anything about it. It's about Osamu Tezuka. I think this is one of those manga that you need to go in blind because otherwise you'll have too many expectations. So I just want to read it and be cringed. I wanted to have that cringy feeling and be like, oh my God, So speaking of hyped up books, I also picked up it's just Fist of the North Star, y'all. This is an older series. It was made in 1983. If you know me, you know how significant now.
Okay, I was born in 1983. That's the truth. I was gonna try to be all like roundabout about it, but the truth is, I was born in 1983, so that's why I bought this.
Now, I wasn't gonna buy it because it was too hyped. But then my husband was looking at it in the bookstore, and I was like, why do you keep looking at it? He's like, I remember this when I was growing up. And I was like, you were growing up? So I picked up the book, and I looked, went to the actual front of the page, was the back for us, and it said 1983. I was like, yup, I'm getting it, because it was made in 1983, that's it. I also picked up some used Japanese manga because, you guys, I'm trying to learn Japanese, and you know what? I've been doing well. Practice every day, I'm not getting pretty good. Why do I keep hyping myself up like I'm doing something great? Anyways, I picked up a series. It is called Dragon Voice. If you guys saw my Right Stuff pick up. I had these in here as well, but I want to go ahead and include them. It is a manga about a young man who was a street dancer, and his mother was actually a singer, and he wanted to become a singer. Well, he couldn't sing, but for some reason somebody heard him singing and they were convinced that he had the dragon voice. And for some reason I really, this is kind of a cool cover, I really need to know what this sounded like, because what is a dragon voice? Is it like, what's that music? It was like raw 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 raw, like, is it that kind of music? I don't think it is. The reason why I don't think it is because this is a boy band. So I mean, I don't think they're singing death metal. Is it called death metal, like when you growl and stuff? I can't remember. I had a friend, he has a group in Australia called Death Audio, and they did the growling, and I was like, oh, he's a growler, that's cool. That's the only reason I would listen to that. It's not bad music, it's just not for me. But anyway, this is Dragon Boy. So if anybody knows if there's an anime or something, I could probably look it up myself, but if you know, put it in the comments below. Let me know if you know about a anime called Dragon Boys. I don't know. I also picked up volume 20 of Fruits Basket. Very random, I know, but it was cheap. It was a good price, and it's in Japanese, so like it's an easy Japanese too. Like if you can read katakana and hiragana, you can read this, and even with the kanji, like you see the kanji is super small, but the furigana is in there, so it's pretty easy to read. So the next series that I picked up was a peer pressure. It was a peer pressure manga. It was peer pressure from Instagram, because I wasn't going to get it. I did not want it. I didn't want it because I didn't want to deal with the thought process, and I'm a fan of the mangaka. Let's just get into it. It's Blood on the Tracks. Blood on the Tracks by Shuzo Oshimi. Okay, I picked up volume 1. I was like, I'm not gonna like this. It's stupid. I really don't want to deal with this. Read volume 1 in probably like 5 seconds, because it takes no time to read his manga, and immediately ordered the rest. Disturbing, very disturbing. At first I was like, oh, this is not as bad. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's disturbing. And I was like, Then I got to that part, and if you read it, you might know what I'm talking about. The part where, let me see the best way I can say this without giving you guys any spoilers. The part when they united, the mother and the son united together when the dad was at the hospital. That's all I have to say. You know what I'm talking about. And I was like, yeah, so I am waiting for the rest. I cannot wait to read the rest, because I want to know if this young man was set free. Talk about peer pressure. This next series that I picked up is one that it seems like everybody and their mama's grandmother is reading, and that is Vinland Saga. Okay, I had my thoughts about Vinland Saga too, because if it's too hyped up, I feel like it's not going to be that great. But this is great. This is greatness. This is greatness. Okay, it is basically about Vikings. It's a revenge story. My favorite thing, from what I know so far. I've only read volume 1, but I picked up volumes 1 through 5. So I do plan on continuing this if it continues to be this good. According to everyone who is reading it right now, I keep looking up here, I'm sorry. According to everyone who's reading it right now, it stays good. So I'm actually really looking forward to completing this series. Next up, I have a series that I picked up because of Margreadsmanga. Hey Marg, how you doing, girl? She has this little show that she does on Monday and Fridays, and they're awesome. She does them at noon. Go on her channel to check for the details, because right now I can't remember it and I do not want to mess it up. Anyways, the series that she was talking about on one of these lives on her Instagram page, let me read this. Saint Seiya Santia Shola. Anyway, so here's volume 1, volume 2. Now, I wish I could tell you what this is about. It seems like it's just about a bunch of... Oh, this cover is so pretty to me. This is one of my favorite covers. It seems like it's about girls who go and fight evil people. Here's volume 4. Volume 5. This one's kind of pretty too. And volume 6. So I'm actually really looking forward to reading this. It looks like a lot of fun. I just dropped one. Let me grab that. It looks like a lot of fun. And you know what's really cool about this? I learned about this series from Marg, and I couldn't find volumes 4 and 6. And your girl sent them to me. Like, is this community amazing or what? I mean, thank you, Marg. Like, that's what this community is about, y'all. That's what this community is about. Helping each other out, okay? So, y'all, this month I also picked up A School Frozen in Time, Volume 2. I am really enjoying this novel. I was gonna say novel and manga together. I'm enjoying this novel. Anyway, it is about 8 students that get stuck in their school, and one of them committed suicide. They don't know which one of them committed suicide. It's very similar to The Drifting Classroom by Kazuo Umezo. And it's just, every time it leaves you on a cliffhanger, and it's driving me crazy. So I cannot wait till the next volume comes out because it's pretty good so far. I also picked up Undead Unluck Volume 2. Now let me tell you guys something about Volume 1. It took a long time for me to get into Volume 1, and I wasn't even sure if I was going to buy Volume 2, but it was towards the end where the story started getting really interesting. And I'm going to tell you like this, I had to push through Volume 1. So hopefully Volume 2 is good enough for me to keep going. If Volume 2 is not good, I'm not going to even keep this. This might be one of my first unhauls. Sad to see. So this next title is one that I probably shouldn't have picked up because I can't find it anywhere. Anyway, it's Banana Fish. I hear so much hype around Banana Fish, and you know it's confusing me because it says shoujo. What is? If anybody can explain this, I didn't think that Banana Fish was a shoujo. Can you see that? No. Let's try that again. No, it's not showing up, but it says Vice City, New York in the 80s. I don't know anything about Banana Fish, but everyone seems to like it. So is that one of them peer pressure buys? And I saw this black guy in here too. I was like, wait a minute. This guy right here, I was kind of like, what's going on? Anyway, I'll find out. Next up is another volume that I bought because of Instagram. Once again, no surprise. It is Great Pretenders. Apparently there is a Netflix show. I've never seen it. I don't know much about it except for I know that they are criminals and they're trying to rob something, like they're thieves and they want to have a big heist, I'm assuming. I've looked at the art a little bit and I was like, okay, this is cool. So I think I might enjoy this. I don't know. I don't want to watch the show until I read this. So we'll be getting through this pretty soon. This month I picked up something on the serious side. It is an autobiography by George Takei. It is called They Called Us Enemy. It is about when the Japanese Americans were gathered together and put into the camps. George Takei is a Japanese American, and this is an autobiography about his family and that experience. And I know that we were taught this in the schools that I went to, but it seems like they're not teaching it much anymore. A lot of kids that I work with at my schools don't know in detail what happened, and it's kind of crazy how much we look down, rightfully so, on the Nazis, but we did it too. And we in America, and I'm saying America in general, did it in a lot of ways, but we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about this. And you might know George Takei from Star Trek. He is Commander Sulu, Lieutenant Sulu, Captain Sulu. He had all those ranks, but let me see if I can find that picture really quick. It's kind of cool. He does his entire history. Nope, can't find it. I also decided to finish a series that I have not even read yet, but it's one of those series that I was like, I'm gonna read it at some point, and I really believe I am. It is Dragon Quest Monsters. I almost forgot the name of it, but I bought volume 4 and 5. This completes the series. Like I said, when I first bought volumes 1 through 3, it is a game, and that's all I know about it. I know it was a game, and I was like, oh, I know that game. I'm gonna buy the manga. Maybe it's cool. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'll save it for my niece. She'll be old enough to read something like this pretty soon. I also decided to add on to my Sailor Moon collection, so I picked up volumes 5 and 6. I almost said 6 and 7. 5 and 6. Shining Shimmering Splendor. This is kind of heavy, bro. Like this a thick boy. Look at this art. Anyways, classics. What is this called? Sailor Moon. I have tripping today. Anyway, here is volume 6. There's nothing on the back. It's not even that fancy. The spines aren't even that fancy. It's just the sparkling part. I don't know if you guys can see that. I always like to show it. It's so pretty full. So last but not least, I have a series that I've searched high and low for. It has been a struggle finding these volumes, and that is the Big Viz volumes of Vagabond. Yeah, I know they were everywhere at one point, but I picked up volumes 5 through 12 and minus volume 7 because I cannot find volume 7, but I'm going to find it. I will find it. And you know, it is a seinen. It is a, hey, aw, look, dag nabbit. Anyway, I don't know what I was saying, but it's a great story. And you know, I know it's on hiatus. I know that we don't know when it's coming back, but Takahiko, I said that all weird, Takahiko Inoue has come back, you guys. He's come back. He is drawing real again. So hopefully he picks up and starts Vagabond again. Until then, I'm gonna just live with what I have, you know. I'm gonna be joyful that I had these. I'm gonna be joyful that I found all of these. And not only that, not only did I get those volumes, okay, I picked up volume 37 in the singles. And you're wondering why I'm doing this. You're wondering why I'm like, it's because your girl wants the singles now. This singles is beautiful. Like it's soft. I know I look crazy right now, but if y'all could feel this cover, it's that soft cover, and it's
Really?
Anyway, it's, you know, easy to hold. You're not feeling like you're breaking your hand. I wish I could find all the singles. So that might be my next endeavor. My bad, y'all. I got one more series. So my husband found this series for me. I had never heard this series before, but he was out shopping for me. He was traveling, and he went to Barnes & Noble, and he got it basically off the cover. And that series is called Radiant. And I honestly, only thing I know about it is that this young man is part of a group of people who can fight monsters because they have monster essence or something in them. I don't really know, but no one was talking about it until Gemini Manga, and he has me super hyped for this. He is just expressed such good things about it, so I cannot wait to get into this series. Apparently, I think there are like 15 volumes out. And another unique thing about this series is that it is written by a French mangaka. His name is Tony Valente. So I read that they call it a manfra. Weird, I know, but I mean, he seems to be doing good things. Like, it's really popular in Japan, and when you're not a Japanese person and you're able to draw manga and the Japanese are loving it and they made an anime about it, you're on to something, dude. So he got me 1 through 5 of those, and I am really looking forward to reading them. All right, y'all, that's all I have for you today. Thanks for joining your girl. It was a long haul, boy, oh boy, and I'm not doing that again because I'm exhausted. Folks that do those long videos, kudos to you. Shout out to you because you're awesome. If you like this video, go ahead and give me a like, subscribe if you would like to be a part of my internet friends, and hit the notification bell. I never say that, so go ahead and do that if you want to know when I post, because y'all know that I don't post weekly. I work. I am a full-time student, and I got other stuff going on, so your girl posts when she can. I got a bunch of video ideas. HVLmanga just did a review of her beginning collection till now. I'm thinking about doing that, and then I want to give you guys an update of my collection. I am well over 300 volumes at this point. It is crazy. I cannot believe it. I was also tagged in a couple of tags, so I have those coming up. I also have my top 5 because at this point I can say I'm nearing intermediate manga collector. I've read a lot more than I did in the beginning, so I do have some favorites. Let me know what you're reading. Let me know if you picked up anything that I picked up this month, or let me know what you picked up. I'm actually really interested. I also got some reviews of light novels that I'm going to do. I was kind of intrigued to read some. You guys left me some suggestions, so I went ahead and tried that out. So until the next video, peace out.